sick and I had to miss the hallowed Halloween party.
Right.
That's my favorite night of the year for me and Savannah to go to. I had to miss it because I was sick. Okay, everybody gets sick every once in a while, but we come right out of that into a rather mysterious foot injury. You got a foot what?
Right.
Well, they didn't define it. They didn't explain it. He just has foot sore. Okay, so he's got sore foot. Well, maybe it happens after you played 20 years. Things just get sore.
Yes.
So now you got a sore foot, which he complained about after the previous loss. And then all of a sudden, late in the game, that was clearly, it had teetered and gone right over the edge of the cliff. He comes down a little bit wrong, but as he said after the game, I'm going to read his quote, I didn't do anything extraneous on the play, meaning I wasn't in a precarious or dangerous situation. I just came down. I just came down and I felt a twinge, a tweak, a spasm, he said, okay? Well, is that because you've played 20 years and you've been crashing into people for 20 years? And you crashed into somebody again and you came down a little bit wrong? And all of a sudden, he said, it doesn't feel as bad as it did back in 2019, his first year, when he missed 17 games. And they said then it was torn. I don't know. When you tear, man, it's no good. But he said, well, maybe 24-hour around the clock, we can get this thing right and I could play again the next game. I'm going to doubt that. I'm going to guess he's going to miss some. I'm also going to throw this at you. Their team has become so pathetic that I think some of this is psychosomatic in his mind, because he's just looking around. You can just see his body language like, where am I? Who are these people? And what am I doing here? And after a while, it's like, I just hurt. I don't want to do this. I don't want to associate with these people anymore. Get me out of here.
Skip, I'm telling you, when you lose it, man, everything hurts worse. When you win it, I mean, I didn't mind taking them shots when we were winning, and my body didn't hurt nearly as bad as then we go out there and get our eyes. I'm like, damn, why did I take them injections again now? We just got beat 35-10.
You did. Okay, so the damnedest thing I've ever seen is these Lakers are pathetic in the first quarter and the third quarter every night. It's like clockwork. But in the second quarter, they were hellacious. They roared back. Look what they won the second quarter by, 31-16. That's after they gave up 38, which was the high-scoring quarter of the year for the Clippers. 38? Okay, and
remember, they gave up 42. They gave up 42 to Utah.
And yet, after 2 games, we were going, everybody's raving about Darvin Ham has installed a new defensive mindset. And remember, you kept saying, LeBron's ranked in the top 5, I think it was, of defensive win shares. Well, now he's plummeted all the way to, 47th now, because he's not playing defense, because nobody's playing defense.
That's why you give up 38, 42.
And they have plunged all the way to 18th in defensive efficiency after they were, for a while, for the first 2 games, I think they were first.
Yeah, I think they were overvalued when they were so high, Skip, because if you look at the guys that they have, AD, Skip, even AD defense, Zubats. Man, Skip, them big guys, they're not afraid of AD anymore.
Zubac just played harder. He just wanted the basketball more.
Skip, there's no way Larry Marketing from Utah supposed to call for the ball on the block. Ain't nobody calling for the ball. A guy, not just a guy. Now, maybe Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. I get that. You talk about 2 of the preeminent players in all of basketball. Ain't no guy like, and that's not a knock on him, because I think he's an outstanding young player. He can shoot it, he can rebound, he can facilitate. Hey, he's the finished LeBron James, if you want to look at it.
That is true, and he's going to make the All-Star team, but go ahead.
Yes. Skip, they don't fear AD.
No, they don't. Yet, when the smoke cleared, when this game ended, I'm looking at the final box, and I'm saying, now, wait a second. If I had told you, Mr. Sharp, before this game, if I told you LeBron had gotten 30 and 8 and 5, and if I told you AD for his lack of motor, if I told you he got 21 and 9, you'd say, okay, 21-9, I can kind of live with that. If you didn't see the game, if you didn't see it. And then I told you that Russell Westbrook is now in Vegas, the odds-on 6th man of the year. He's odds-on to win 6th man of the year because he's been, dare I say, sensational coming off the bench. And last night, he gave you
9 assists.
14 and 9 assists. Okay, 14, 4 rebounds. He usually gets you 8 or 9 rebounds, but he was 14, 4, and 9 assists, which led the team in assists. If I told you those 3 future, they're not, it's a dub, but they're all going to be in the Hall of Fame, those 3 for sure. If I told you that, and then I read you some other stats. I read you that points in the paint, it was Lakers 52 to Clippers 38. And if I told you second chance points, or no, let's go to fast break points. If I told you Lakers were 20-9 in fast break points, if I told you all that, you'd say, oh, we won that game, right? Mm-hmm. You basically got blown off the floor in the first and the third quarter, and in the end, it's 114 to 101.
Right.
Okay, so you lost by 13 points. What just happened? It's showing you that these three future Hall of Famers, not just LeBron, but all three of them, have little to no impact on the scoreboard.
None.
They do their solo acts.
Yes.
They get their numbers where they look respectable at the end of the night.
Yes.
And in LeBron's case, they look pretty good.
Yes.
And yet, wait a second, you really weren't that competitive. In the bitter end, you weren't that competitive. No. And what did they do to you? Well, as usual, you get battered at the free throw line every night because you just don't get calls anymore, right?
Well, then when you do get calls, you're not going to make them, so what difference does it make?
Okay, that's the point. So what was LeBron's big spiel at the end of his media session after the game? He's furious. He's not getting any calls because what did he get to the free throw line last night? 4 times? Yeah, where is LeBron here? Yeah. He shot 4 free throws and he made 2 of them. Okay, so he said after the game, I got to learn how to flop or something. He said, I'm tired of hearing I missed it from the referees.
Right.
He said that's 3 games straight of I missed it, where the ref's just saying, well, I missed that one.
Right.
Okay, I think we have the one where he drove on, I believe it was Paul George, and this was the flash point of the night when they're starting to teeter and fall in the third quarter. So he drives it in, and they gave Paul George a block on this play. And there's a little bit of contact. I think he got all ball going up, but there's a lot of body contact. Right. I will give you that. There was a time in this league where LeBron, it's like automatic. Yeah. You are going to shoot the 2 free throws if you didn't make the shot. But there are a lot of times he was just going to make that shot. LeBron
is getting the call. They give Giannis that call now.
Well, sure they do.
That LeBron, there was a stretch where LeBron got the calls that Giannis get.
Yeah.
LeBron got those.
Okay. So he has plummeted now to 67% from the free throw line, and you've disagreed with me on this, but I still say those refs, they watch, they listen, they read, they know that he's not a good free throw shooter and that he has been in some decline, and so they're not going to honor him with calls. They used to honor Harden with calls because he'd shoot 90%.
Yeah.
I swear they will give it to you if they think you can make those.
But Skip, if the first 3 games, you remember, LeBron would shoot like 78, 79%.
No, he started off hot, but the whole team started off hot.
And then you look at the last 2 free throws that he shot last night, Skip, they showed from behind. He liked to miss the whole damn rim.
Yeah. I think he lost heart from playing.
He clipped the right side of the rim. I'm like, bro, you straight on how you shoot and the ball over here and the rim is there.
Yeah. And then when things got desperate last night, he's more and more now resorting to this solo act over on the wing where he's swinging the ball from side to side. I don't know if we have this exactly, but do we have the play? He's swinging it on. I think it's Marcus Morris over on the side. He's just on Marcus.
Now it's too late. Now we're in a bind.
Okay.
Now we got to throw up.
What are you going to do? Well, I'm going to get it blocked. He got it blocked right back to him, and then he tried to shoot it again. But that sequence starts with him doing the face-up swing, 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 swing. I think he swung it 8 times. Everybody's just watching.
Standing around.
They're just watching. There's no ball movement. There's no unity. There's no rhythm to it. It's just like LeBron saying, well, I guess I got to save it because we're about to get blown off the floor again.
Well, Skip, by the time you do that, okay, you get the ball. So now all of a sudden, it's 7 seconds. Okay, now you're like, okay, I'm going to put the ball on the floor. I mean, so what you want? I mean, you going to pass it to somebody to bail you out? It's too late now. Skip, they bad. I don't know what it is. Skip, look, LeBron is injured. LeBron is in year 20. But they're just a bad team. We just got to face that fact. And remember, everybody, Skip, when it came out, the prognostication was they're going to be in the play-in tournament.
Sure.
I was like, man, how they going to be in the play? Because all I heard all offseason, we hadn't been healthy.
Yep.
We be healthy. Let's see healthy. Me, Russ, and AD, we hadn't been this. We hadn't been that. Rob Pelinka, let's see by Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving, y'all going to be like the bird, cooked.
Okay. And yet, before the year started, you were daring me to bet you that they would win 50 games. And I said, make it 55. And I choked and I wimped out.
Yeah, you did.
Because I didn't believe it. I couldn't believe they were going to be a bad team. I thought they would be pretty good.
Right.
Because I kept thinking, wait a second. If LeBron and AD and Russ all stay healthy, well, Well, there's just too much firepower. They can't be miss the playoffs team.
Well, two of the three guys are unhealthy already. AD working with his back. AD looked like me running up and down the court.
Yeah. And by the way, before the year started, I thought Russ was sheer liability. And to Darvinham's credit, he's made one great move. He just started bringing him off the bench. But it's straight camouflage. Like I called it the other, it's like he's wearing a Halloween costume, because the truth is he's still playing high minutes.
Yeah.
Last night he was in the game after about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
He played 30 minutes last night.
Yeah. So he gets his minutes.
Yeah.
They just wait a while before he starts.
Right.
But it's just a little while.
Yes.
And so it's changed his mindset and his outlook and his point of view.
Right.
He's coming in like, oh, I don't have any pressure on me. I'm not a starter anymore. And that's worked. And if you told me Russ was going to win Sixth Man of the Year before the season started, I'd say, well, definitely they won't just be in the play-in. They will be the 6th seed or the 5th seed.
Skip, last year you kept bringing up they were 33 and 49. They were 33 and 49. We might need to throw a ticker tape parade if they get 33 wins this year.
Well, at the pace you're going right now, and I don't see salvation. I don't see hope.
No.
I don't. And we keep talking about trades. What trade could they make? Unless you clear the deck. If you trade AD, especially if you could get Kevin Durant back, but after I watched Kevin last night, he looks happy now that they got Jacques Vaughn. We're about to talk about that. And Kevin triple doubles with 29, 12, and 12. There's no way they would trade him straight up for Anthony Davis.
No.
They're just not going to do it.
But you don't have anything.